Hello, sixth graders. Hope you guys are doing well. I really miss you all. Okay. Um, but let's go over lesson 80 today. Okay. Thank you to those who are emailing me the answers to your lesson practices. I'm glad to check those, and also email me with any questions you might have. Okay. I'd be happy to do my best to answer those questions. Okay. All right. But as we look at lesson 80 today, we're going to use what we call a scale factor to solve ratio problems, okay? And so it may be helpful if you have your book to follow along with me as I'm going through this. I'm on page 424, okay? And I'm going to go through a couple of the new concepts with you. I'm about halfway down page 424 if you want to follow along with me as I read that story problem right there. Okay, it says consider the following ratio problem. It says the ratio of little boys to little girls in the nursery was 3 to 2. Okay, now before I finish reading that, I've set up a chart, and it shows you how to do this in your book. The ratio of little boys to little girls was 3 to 2. So it first of all says boys, so there would be 3 boys, because it said the ratio of boys to girls was 3 to 2. So it would have 2 little girls. Okay, so 3 boys to 2 girls. Now it says if there were 6 little girls. So here's our girls. And it says if there were 6 little girls. Then it says how many little boys were there? Well, let's look at this. This is pretty easy to figure out. How do you get from 2 to 6? Well, we could multiply, couldn't we? 2 times 3 would be 6. So if we multiply this one times 3, we need to multiply that one times 3. So 3 times 3 would be 9. Okay? Pretty simple ratio problem there. Okay? Now, let me do another one with you. Okay? This time I'm on page 425 with the next example. It says, sadly, the ratio of flowers to weeds in the garden was 2 to 5. If there were 30 flowers in the garden, how many weeds were there? Well, first of all, I want to make my chart again. Okay? That's very helpful if you make a chart for yourself. Okay? And we'll have this column be our ratio. And this column will be the actual count, the actual amount. Okay, and then it gives us the ratio of flowers to weeds. Now, I want to go back and read my problem again before I fill this in to make sure I'm filling it in correctly. The ratio of flowers to weeds. So the first number is going to be flowers because it tells us ratio of flowers is first, flowers to weeds. So flowers would be 2, and then the weeds would be 5. And then it says if there were 30 flowers, so let's find our flowers. If there were 30 flowers, how many weeds were there? Okay, now 2 times what number would equal 30? Okay, now you're like, well, I can't figure that out that way. If you can't, go backwards and divide 30 divided by 2. But some of you I know already know 2 times 15 is 30. So we'd multiply that by 15, and that's how they got 30. So if we multiply that by 15, we have to multiply 5 by 15. And that problem, you may need to go to the side and do 15 times 5. And if you multiply correctly, you get 75. So we've just answered our question that there were 75 weeds with 30 flowers. Okay? So those are some pretty simple ratio problems there. And again, look back in your book or watch this video again. It'll show you how to set up your chart there, and then it should be a lot easier to answer your questions. Okay? All right, remember to email me your answers to lesson practice, and have a great day.